something that 80% of Texans are going to need in the next few years. There are about 10,000 people monthly that are retiring, and only 20% can provide private pay. And 80% of us rely on something, some state or federal program.
Assisted living homes are categorized, they're licensed through the state of Texas. All assisted living homes, you have large ones, you have small ones. What the problem is with the funding of Medicaid. A lot of assisted living facilities, on an average, cost is about $4,000 a month.
$4,195. That equates to a daily rate of $131. When we have Medicaid Star Waiver Plus members, they're paying us $20.58 a day to provide care for those members that are on the Medicaid waiver program.
That's the Medicaid reimbursement rate. That's what Medicaid says, hey, these people who can't afford private pay, which is not a big fraction of people that can afford $4,000 out of pocket. And when you pay that money, that's for your medication management, your rides to and from your doctor's appointment, your ADL, assisting with dressing, medication management. It's for a lot of things to keep you out of nursing homes into the community. That's basically what assisted living homes are for. You're not ready to go to that other level of care in a skilled nursing facility.
So, as a result of that, the HHSC, which is Health and Human Services Commission, contracts with managed care organizations, which is called MCOs, like Superior, Molina, United Care, so forth and so on, depending on what area you're in. And when they contract with them, the MCO contracts with the providers, assisted living, to provide services for individuals that are on the Star Plus waiver program.
The Star Plus waiver program, again, guys, is only for people who qualify. You have to qualify financially. Are you guys familiar with Medicaid and Medicare? Most people, it's kind of a backward system because you worked all your life, you pay your taxes back, you get Social Security, which gets you Medicare. But we're not going to talk about Medicare because Medicare doesn't pay for anything when it goes to assisted living. It's only Medicaid, so you have to qualify for that. So once you qualify for Medicaid, Medicaid now in the state of Texas is managed through MCOs, like she said, Medicaid care organizations. From there, if you want to go into the assisted living home, the MCO comes out to the assisted living home and does a survey assessment. They want to know your needs, what you do. You need an assisted living home? Do you want to stay in your own home and still get the care within the community? Because that's Medicaid is based upon that now. However, once they come out and do the assessment, you go to your doctors, all kinds of stuff behind the scenes I don't really know about. But once they gather all that information, they send that to the state. The state then takes that, do their calculation. Once they determine the level of care that you need, it comes down to what they call a RUG level. And the different RUG levels determine the type of reimbursement that the state is going to pay the assisted living facility.
And our particular RUG level at this particular time, and I think it came out in December of 2022 or September, and it says residential care non-apartment rate is $20.58. If you are an apartment type, then you can get as much as $47.02. However, we believe that that is inaccurate as far as assisted living. We believe that is independent living with pause services, because when they're in an apartment setting and they're forgetting to turn the stove off, forgetting their medication, we have them coming to us and they're saying mom or dad or their loved one can no longer live in an apartment setting because their dementia is kicking in and they're forgetting certain things and they need medication management. So then they come to us where there's a more intimate setting where there's 24-hour care. They're not in an apartment. If they fall down or anything like that, someone is there to supervise them. However, they pay us less, but the level of care, in our opinion, has risen. So what we're advocating for is for legislators to ask Health and Human Services to update small assisted living reimbursement rate. Because how can we provide food, medication assistance, 24-hour supervision for $20 a day? And to determine the structure rate because the focal point should be on the individual and not the structure of a building, whether they're in an apartment or non-apartment, because adequate care remains the same. Also, we're asking for an increase in drug levels straight across the board because of inflation. Food costs, wages have gone up post-COVID. In addition to that, we're asking for the MCOs to be more transparent with ISP because we were able to obtain an ISP and we saw that in this particular individual case, the amount was $71,000 and some change, and we were only allocated $7,000 for the entire year. So where is the other $63,000? Where's that being allocated to? And we're asking that at least we get 30% of the allocated funds that Health and Human Services has given authorization to the MCOs. We want 30% of that $71,000 at least. And what happens if this continues is small assisted livings can't provide basic care. Some providers, such as myself, are marketing to private pays because we can't afford to accept the Medicaid bed. How can we manage? Also, there will be a population of people without assisted living because, again, 80% of the population depends on some type of state or federal fund. Who's going to be there to take care of those individuals? And finally, about 10,000 people a month are retiring. So it's going to be a fluctuation of people that we can accommodate.
And guys, I want to add, just to, in layman's terms, let's say Connect has an apartment and I have a single family home. We're both licensed. We both have to go through the same fire alarm systems. Everything is the same. From the fire alarm system to 24-hour care, to food, to medication management. Whatever Connect does, I have to do in my small facility. Let's say Connect gets your mother needs assistance with dressing, bathing, cooking, transportation to the doctor. Connect may get paid $70 and I'll get paid $20 for the same care because the state sees me as a non-apartment, but I go through the same exact
Rules and
guidelines as she does. That's our problem. In our license states assisted living facility. It doesn't state non-apartment. Across the board, I'm the same as you. I just have a different structure.
A building structure. And to be quite honest, we give better care than the larger facilities because the ratio of employees, sometimes if I'm in my facility, it's 2 to 6 residents. So there's a 1 to 3 ratio versus a large facility, it's about 10 to 15. They have to take care of a whole hall. So who gets the better care? Yes.
So is that a state decision on that distinction between those two, the structure of that?
They're passing the buck. HHSC overall is the one that gives the certificate, the license, and set the rates. They didn't allocate the money, like she was speaking of the $71,000. They allocate that to the MCOs. The MCO said, hey, we asked for the higher reimbursement rate. Talk to HHSC, they make the rates. HHSC, no, talk to the MCO, they're the one, we don't get to discuss that. So we're trying to figure that out ourselves.
And I just received an update from another provider, and in email it stated it came from HHSC, and they stated that in that email, let me get my phone, it basically stated that we're receiving the correct rate, which is $20.58, and because we reached out and filed a complaint with the HHSC, and and we also went to our legislators, and they contacted HHSC, and they basically reached out to the MCOs, and the MCOs reached out to us. And so on the 23rd, we received a letter from HHSC, one of the other providers who filed the complaint, and it basically said that we were getting the correct rate of the $20 based on the MCOs, and that the case has been closed, pretty much. So, what do we do? as a result, that's why we're reaching out to the public to get their help, because I don't think that the public is aware of what we're giving and what we're providing for our elderly and disabled individuals. And so we would like, how you can help is reach out to your local providers, retweet this video, and also inform your family or friends of the Medicaid situation, because if you don't, you may can afford private pay, but I'm sure there's a family member or friend that's gonna be in this situation. And then the private pay sector, a portion of them run out of money before their life expires. So they then too would need to have a state or federal fund. It's a very, very important issue, and I don't believe it's a Democratic or Republican issue. I believe it's a humanity issue. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
HSC, state or federal agency?
That's
HHC is state, they're guided through CMS, which is Centers for Medicaid, Medicaid and Medicare.
Do you have like a letter that you can share with us that we could send in kind of thing, so we would have the right information in it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have a letter that we have written to the, and let me just show y'all this. This is an example of a service, a daily service record, and this comes directly from HHSC. You can see their little stamp. And on there, they're requesting from ISP that we bathe, dress, feed, groom, hair care, toiletry, transportation, cleaning, escort, shopping, transportation, 24-hour supervision, how? On $20.50.
You guys, I've been doing this over, my personal story, I've been doing this over 16 years. My average client been with me 12 plus years because of the quality of care. And some of them now won't be able to afford this. So it's a hard decision for me. And a lot of them don't have families with their Christmas, with their Thanksgiving, with their everything. So a lot of these people that come to their home.
I have another question. So my understanding, which is limited, is that Texas doesn't do well with the whole concept of Medicaid.
The reimbursement rates.
Right, okay, so is this a Texas issue or a federal issue?
It's a Texas issue because Medicaid is a state-funded program,
So-
and Medicare is a federal-funded program. However, the state of Texas can get funding from the federal government, but I'm told that Greg added.
Yeah, you remember-
Okay, that's what
Remember when that was part of one of the big bills that Joe Biden passed, was more funding for Medicaid. Expansion, Medicaid expansion, okay? And Greg Abbott made it a big issue that Texas would not accept any of that money. And that would go directly to help what they're talking about.
Yes, okay.
So yes, it is a state problem. So we need to put
In
pressure.
addition to that, I was also informed that there's a $50 billion surplus from the state of Texas. So it's not like the state of Texas does not have the money. It's who they allocate the money to.
So they're in session right now, so they're really trying to figure out how they're gonna spend this $33 billion excess fund that they have, so it would not be inappropriate for us to contact our reps and say, hey, we understand there's a problem with funding our senior health care. Why are we not accepting funds? And now that we have this money, why don't we take some of that and put it towards health care for seniors?
And the waiver for healthcare for seniors for
Assisted living, especially assisted living, yeah.
Because there's different types of waivers out there. We're particularly talking about today the STAR plus waiver.
Because there are other programs that are receiving $150 a day. But yet, for some reason, assisted living is receiving $20 to $40 a day, depending on what building you're in, which doesn't make sense to me.
And
Exactly.
assisted living don't just cater to elderly people. Majority of mine are mentally ill.
Yeah, there
Right.
is other kinds. they're disabled, it's elderly and the disabled.
Sell to the
What's my
seniors.
Well, you said there you
We
can
treat,
retweet something?
Oh, I'm gonna compile a video, and
Okay,
it's
perfect.
Freight_TX.
Okay.
I'll give it to you later.
And maybe we can share it as a group too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. If you have a letter, an example of a letter, maybe you could put it in a digital format
Okay,
and get it to us.
okay,
And then we can spread it out to the group and ask people to send it into their reps.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, awesome,
Would
awesome.
you do that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I live in Frisco Lakes, and we have a gentleman there, Kurt Simon, who is silver-haired legislator. He's an elected position, and he goes to Austin and works on issues for seniors. So this is right up his alley. So he goes to Austin, I don't know how many times a quarter, but if he has something I can give him, a card, a letter, talking about, or send it to me, I can introduce him to the project.
Yeah.
Have
Okay.
you talked to anybody in the TV industry?
No, but we have reached out to Roy West's office, and he has been working with me, Vince, Lebanese, excuse me if I mispronounced his name, but he has been working with me, and he was supposed to give me a call on Friday afternoon, and I have yet to receive it, but I'm gonna give him a few days, and then I'll reach out to him again, but other than that, from my personal experience, that's all I've got is that they're working on it.
Are you talking about media?
Yes.
Like channel, every one of our major network channels has a reporter that goes out and reports on things that just aren't right, and are people that are having problems getting things. To me, this sounds like a perfect venue to, research. I don't know if you guys have gotten that far yet, but that would be a great place
We
to.
thought about it, still, yeah, this is all new for us, so we're
Okay,
boots on the ground right now.
yeah.
You can reach them through Facebook Messenger, because that's what happened with me. I was.
Yeah, she was on.
I was kind of on TV.
She's a star.
Well, yeah, when I had seen the same issue that he was reporting on, I sent him a message via Facebook Messenger. He got back to me and they interviewed me.
Yeah, that's something we consider as media coverage. We've also considered going to the senator's office and numbers and getting our complaint or issue heard.
Do you guys have an association that you all belong to?
Yeah, Torch, Texas Organization of Residential Homes.
Is it, is this something that you guys are locking arms with?
Yes.
Okay, well,
Yes.
that would be a good group to get together and, like you say, go down and sit and demand
They need some Republicans to champion this too,
Yeah.
especially the senior issues. There are a lot of, so we're from Frisco Lakes, and it's a 55 and over community, and the majority are Republicans, they're not Democrats.
Right.
So if you can hit them, because now it's self-serving, and get people to support them, that's what you want to do, in addition to coming to venues like this one.
But in the meantime,
So we just was like, our hands are tied, what can we do? And so when we reached out to HHSC, they said that it's a legislation issue. And so we reached out to our local representatives and we really haven't gotten anywhere. And I just said, I think, and that's what, and I thank y'all for welcoming me. I looked and I saw that y'all were having breakfast, and I live in Frisco, but my homes are in other areas and so forth and so on. And I reached out and Frisco Democratic Club welcomed me with open arms, and I really appreciate that.
absolutely, well, get us a letter that